Thokozani bogogo, thokozani bantu abadala, ndawo weshewe. Thokozani izindlondlo, ndinivusela kunye nabo bonke ogogo enihamba nabo, nawo wonke amadlozi enu enihamba nabo, indlondlo enihamba nazo. Ndizithokozane, camako, thobela, ndawo. So today we're going to be talking about the assumptions we have about our families, who you are and where you come from. A lot of us, just because you have a certain surname and you come from a certain family, you automatically assume that that is your identity. Through the spiritual journey, you will find that some of these spirit guides that will come up, it will be a surname that is totally unrelated to the surnames that you know within the clan or the clan name that you belong to. And you ask yourself, how is it possible that these people are here? Now, we cannot run away from the fact that as the Nguni people, or even a big majority of South Africans, we migrated down to end up where we are. For instance, with my family, when we speak about the whole lineage, we start from Unyombane Tondolo. Now, in isiXhosa, there is no such word or name as Unyombane. And even, I've never had it in the Eastern Cape, where I'm originating from. I've never had it on anyone else within the family. So, and even just checking around, I only could trace such a word to the Great Lakes of Zimbabwe, and there's even a saying that is Karibu Nyumbane, welcome home. And so the sense of familiarity that we end up having and the identities that we have, some might not be purely what we think they are. Some might not be purely from the exact bloodline. A few weeks ago, I watched a program on one of the TV programs, TV channels, sorry. And on this program is people who seek to speak with their ancestors. And they get to ask questions, they get to get answers. A lot gets answered about their lives. I love and respect the work that the woman is doing and that channel is doing, because it opens our eyes to a lot of things. Now, this one episode, an issue came up about the surname of the guy. The guy was starting to have issues with his girlfriend or his wife. And then the ancestors, one of them came up and actually said, I need to give you some clarities. There are some clarities that I need to give you regarding your surname, because there's an issue with the surname. That surname is a borrowed surname. It's not our original surname. And then he gave the original surname and said, because of where we are, I needed that identity so that I could live in the area and I could, prosper in the area. So I took on that surname. These people adopted me and gave me this surname. And as a result, that is the surname that now I started using. And we're talking, I think it was 3 generations back to this current guy. So that would be I think it was his great-grandfather, not even his grandfather. who was raising this up. And then it reminded me, because I also have my very, very, very first client. When I came back home, he started talking about how his brother also brought. Actually, this came up in the bone divination session that we're having. No, it was not even bones. We're not using bones. I was using intuition. It came up that there's an issue with their surname. And then he confirmed it, that his brother, who is now initiated, brought that up, who is Igqirha, which is the closer version of Isangoma. And it kind of created a conflict in the family, because now they're feeling that he is disowning and dishonoring their grandfathers, you know. And as a result, there has constantly been a conflict regarding to that. Fine. So my client goes back, and he's given instructions on what to do for 7 days. He does that. Then he comes back to come and give feedback. One of the main things that struck me was when in the dream, in one of his dreams, he was instructed to move the kraal from where it is to a different place, and he was given a specific place. They've got a tree at his place. He was told to move it from where it is to go and put it in that place. A kraal, a whole kraal. Now, if you go into the Xhosa tradition, or even generally the African tradition, when you're talking about a kraal, that is the anchor, the core of the family traditions and culture. I won't talk about values. Values is a different story. But the culture and traditions, it is the sitting of umsamo within the Xhosa people. It is the sitting of the ancestors within the Xhosa people. It is the sitting of the identity. It is the sitting of this and that and that and that. That which makes us to be who we are and how we identify ourselves within the constructs and, you know, the construction of culture and traditions. So then he comes back, and I have to do the dream interpretation. And I ask him, do you understand what a kraal is and what it represents? Generally, why do you shift things? Why would you move houses? What causes you to move house? And so we went on, we had this discussion about how now, linked to what had been revealed before to his brother, and through the process that we had, that there is an issue with their surname, and there is an issue then going to their clan names, which family, when his brother brought it up, they took offense to. Now, one of the things that happen when someone, normally is called a child, umntwana, in a family is identified or called by Gogo to go and initiate them and for them. What often happens is that some families, they will do their utmost best to block that. Because some people within the family, they thrive on the failures of others caused by their own hands. Or if it's not caused by their own hands, it's caused by their forefathers. Remember, within a family, there will be brothers, right? And there's a lot of conflicts that happen between brothers. And those conflicts end up affecting generations. And when one of the family members has to go and initiate, Part of why they need to go and initiate is because one of the amadlozi or the spirit guides actually want them to sort out something. Now, if someone was gaining from this whole discord in the family, they ain't gonna be happy. And when someone goes and initiate, they even get to reveal, or things get revealed to them about the family, the foundations of the family, sometimes the wealth of the family, the beliefs of the family. So many things get revealed. And as part of the journey of Ugutwasa or being initiated, you have to go and find out more about who you are as a people and as a clan. And as a result, you might just uncover some uncomfortable truths. You might just expose some things. So, for instance, my dad told me about how in the olden days, if someone had a calling, obviously wake up in the morning, you tell them the dreams, and sometimes for some people the manifestations are like physical. Everybody can see this manifestation. Some people will always wake up sleeping in the kraal, or some people will always wake up at the river or in the fields, in the mountains, a whole lot of things. And then a decision would be made by the family, the heads of the family, that okay, let's let this child to go and be initiated. But we must be the ones, as parents, we have to guide this child, right? Guide this child. Then they would take the one who is meant to be initiated to a sangoma of their choice, not the sangoma that has been shown, or igqirha, or the mentor that has been shown to the mentee or the initiate. But they would choose someone that they as the family are comfortable with. Comfortable. Why comfortable with that person? This would be someone that they as the family have been using for the longest time for different things. And most of the time you'll find a lot of cover-ups have been done. If in the family maybe there's something that they no longer want to do, they would go to this person to say, okay, let's turn things around. Let's do a ceremony so that we can announce to Gogo that we are no longer doing this as this family. We are now converted. We have a religion. We are no longer spiritual or into spirituality. So this person, this healer, kind of becomes then the secret holder or molder for this family. So they would know a lot of things about this family because they have to do a lot of ceremonies for this family. Not in the interest necessarily of the ancestors, but in the interest of the individuals. And sometimes some of the family members do not even know that some major decisions are being taken on their behalf through this sangoma or nyanga or igqirha or whatever, this healer. And as a result, they would even partake in ceremonies that are meant to block their ways. They would even partake in ceremonies that defile the whole lineage. And obviously, if there is an initiator, only the initiator will benefit from that. So that is why then you will find that a family would then have this trusted family healer. This is our person. Then they would take this young one. And remember, when you are in the process of understanding what is happening to you. You are very vulnerable. You are so vulnerable. You are helpless. You are battling with yourself. You are battling with everything, and even with everyone. So that leaves you so vulnerable. And any person, especially if it's family, they say they want to help you, you are bound to fall into the trap. And also the fact that Gogo, by the time they've gotten so hectic on you because you've been running away and not accepting the call, they will render you useless. Ooh, shame. They will show you flames. It's cold. It's actually drizzling outside. They will render you useless. They will take everything. They will take your house, your relationships, your cars, your business, your prestige. They will take everything and they will be like, put you down. And you have to sacrifice. So at that point, you are so vulnerable. And you battle with forces out of your control. You battle with negativity within the family. You battle with, people bad mouthing you for accepting the calling. You battling with yourself, and with the fact that these very same people who are calling you have taken everything from you, and now you are at the mercy of people. You're at the mercy of your siblings, of your parents, of your family, of even strangers in some other cases. I remember once while I was a patron, we were preparing for homecoming. And there's a week that you are given before the week of coming home where you are allowed to go out and get all the necessary preps. And what do you call them? Mpago. Oh, the word is gone now. But all the preparations, let's stick to preparations. It's easy. So, and we were sitting and waiting. They were fixing, a seamstress was fixing our white cloths for Umzao. And actually we're making new ones because when you do Ndwaso, you have to have new stuff, everything. One day, let's talk about my bras that I had to import from the USA. Because, and when you kids are, you don't want something that's going to be spilling. So I had to bring them over. Anyway, story for another day. So while we are waiting for these people to finish, we shopped, got everything, we don't do everything, we had it. And I was with, I call him my twin, my spiritual brother. We were both initiates. We're the last ones in our group. This guy comes and it's like, Tokozan Bokoko, Avusele, obviously, And in that area, when you see Abokoko, in the Eastern Cape, you can kind of get away with pretending you didn't see someone. I've never done that, but I'm just saying. You can pretend, But in Mpumalanga, you can't. You just, the space itself, the environment itself commands you to acknowledge, to do what is right. And most people, when you are still within the initiation period and space, you have to obey and and show respect. Even beyond that, you do that. But while you are there, it's even more stringent. in terms of things that you can do. You can't even sit on a chair and all those things. You can be seen eating in public, all those things. So this guy comes to us and Avusele, he greets us and he starts talking. He's like, I need help. Opens his shirt. He shows us he's got this fabric, ipalu, and he's showing us that he's got a piece of it on his waist. And he's got injeti, that's injeti. He had the blue one and the red one. So he's got that. And he hasn't eaten for days and he needs help. Oh, what a pitiful situation. I looked at this man and I was thinking, I'm that kind of a person who always looks at every situation and asks myself, what is it that I need to learn from this? Why is this coming to my space? So even with him, I was like, what lesson am I meant to learn here? And I realized that this man's plight is about him not having anyone on his corner. He's got no parents. And he knows what he needs to do. He knows what is bothering him. He knows what has put him in the position that he's in. But he's got no one. He's got no one. And that made me realize that, okay, the lesson in this situation is to appreciate, despite everything you're going through, that you're feeling, that you're thinking, but you have a mother. I have a mother who is 101% supportive, who understands that my healing is her healing as well, and her lineage is healing. So I looked at this man and I was like, wow, okay. So as I was saying, when you're in that space, you are so vulnerable. Here was someone asking us for help, for something to eat, for transport. And you can see he speaks with passion. He's someone who, he's got it. He understands what is going on. But the how to go about it is the problem. So as I was saying, your family can take advantage of that. Because it just will return you to your childhood. It just will return you to being a child. It will take you back. You will latch onto your mother's breast, literally, like for sustenance and survival. That is my experience. You will value friendships, the one or two friendships that will still exist. You will value your siblings, those who still support you. And for me, I was lucky enough because it's just two of us at home. My sister and my mom, they are very supportive. My dad is another story for another day or for another lifetime. So, as I was saying, the identity that you have might be an assumed identity. And when you go to Asa, you learn the deep secrets and deep uncomfortable truths about your family, and you have to fix those. As we journey along together, you're going to learn more about some of the discoveries that I made, which are uncomfortable and at the same time liberating. It depends how you look at it, what filter are you using to look at it. But that is part of the journey, that is core of the journey, that you heal not only for yourself, but for your family as well. But not everybody will want you to heal. Because your healing will mean that you get liberating. And your liberation will mean their imprisonment. Because now they have to account for their actions and things that they've done. Even generations before that have done to affect this current generation. Gogo. Please don't forget to subscribe